L. Ron Hubbard's creation of a mythos involving ancient aliens served multiple strategic purposes for Scientology. One of the key aspects of this mythos was its use in auditing sessions, a practice where members confess their thoughts, fears, and traumas while using the e-meter, a low-voltage device that supposedly measures their mental or spiritual state. The narrative about ancient aliens and cosmic events, such as the infamous Xenu story, provided a framework that allowed members to confess even their most personal and intrusive thoughts without feeling vulnerable. This was because their deepest fears and confessions could be framed within the context of a belief system that was abstract, metaphysical, and far removed from their personal earthly lives. Ancient alien mythos for confessions. By grounding the process of confession and introspection in a science fiction-inspired religious narrative, Hubbard created a safe psychological space where followers could reveal their innermost thoughts without fear of earthly judgment. The mythos centers on the idea that humans are eternal thetans, souls, who have lived through multiple lifetimes, including traumatic experiences in distant galactic pasts. The framework distances these confessions from real-life contexts, allowing members to discuss past lives, alien wars, and intergalactic traumas, rather than focusing on their present life concerns. This distancing effect made individuals more willing to disclose sensitive, even criminal thoughts, as they saw these confessions as spiritual and cosmic in nature, not mundane and self-incriminating. If law enforcement ever obtained these records, they would appear to be fantastical and deeply rooted in religious belief, making it difficult for authorities to interpret them as anything other than religious discourse. The alien past lives element served as a shield, protecting these personal confessions from scrutiny because they could be dismissed as part of a religious belief system rather than real-world confessions. This insulated the church and its members from legal repercussions. IRS stripping Scientology's tax-exempt status and the OT levels. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Scientology came under scrutiny from various governments, including the U.S. government, which led to the revocation of its tax-exempt status by the IRS in 1967. This was a major blow to the church's legitimacy and financial operations. Around this time, Hubbard began introducing the operating thetan OT levels, which mark a significant shift in the practices of Scientology. The timing is telling. The OT levels introduced progressively more esoteric and secretive content, including the infamous OT3, the Wall of Fire, where the Xenu narrative about an ancient galactic overlord was revealed. This narrative claims that 75 million years ago, Xenu brought billions of people to Earth, killed them, and their souls, thetans, became attached to human bodies. This mythology provided a dramatic backdrop for the higher-level confessions in Scientology, further insulating them within an increasingly complex and religious framework. The introduction of the OT levels right after the IRS stripped Scientology of its tax-exempt status is significant for a few reasons. 1. Distraction and reinforcement of belief. The IRS decision was a severe threat to the organization, and the introduction of the OT levels helped solidify the devotion of its followers by introducing more advanced and secret knowledge. This kept members invested and distracted from the legal battles, as they were now on a path toward deeper spiritual awakening and cosmic truth. 2. Increased secrecy and control. With the IRS scrutiny intensifying, the OT levels introduced more confidential material. Members were made to feel that they were privy to powerful, sacred knowledge that could be dangerous if mishandled. This increased the church's control over them, as breaking confidentiality about the OT materials was portrayed as spiritually devastating. 3. Protection through religious cloaking. The OT levels, with their heavy reliance on science fiction narratives, served as a shield against external legal or governmental intrusion. By framing auditing and confessions as part of a deeply religious journey through cosmic events and past lives, Hubbard ensured that the information divulged in these sessions would seem fantastical and irrelevant to law enforcement. It would be extremely difficult for an outside authority to use these confessions against the church or its members, as they could be dismissed as part of the religion's belief system. In essence, Hubbard leveraged the concept of ancient alien mythology not only as a way for members to feel comfortable confessing their deepest secrets, but also as a legal and psychological shield. By introducing these stories and the OT levels at a critical time in Scientology's history, just after the loss of tax-exempt status, he created a layered defense mechanism that protected the church from legal scrutiny and deepened the commitment of its followers. This timing and the shift in strategy were crucial in Scientology's ability to rebound from the IRS's actions and eventually regain its tax-exempt status in 1993.
Audiences know what to expect, and that is all they are prepared to believe in.
Take a base of action. Green group, stay across the holding sector of each other.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47.
It's a trap!